Today's horoscope from 𝐀𝐫𝐢𝐞𝐬, Aries, February 25, 2025. Changes in plans and some restlessness can lead to significant new ideas and discoveries now. You can be strongly focused on taking action on a home or financial matter. Also today, Mars turns direct after over 2 months of retrograde motion, signaling a turning point. Complexities, mainly related to finances or dealings with a partner, begin to untangle. After a feeling of treading water, you'll appreciate a more straightforward approach to these matters, and life, in general. You'll have more energy and direction in the coming weeks. Problems related to sharing, ideas, opinions, and transportation or commuting experienced in recent months begin to iron out. Soon enough, you get to work through issues related to studies or travel that were in limbo. Use the period ahead to face problems directly and courageously, but ease back into action. You've likely been walking on shattered glass for months, but a new era is upon you. As mighty Mars, the planet of passion and drive, returns to life in the depths of your solar house of intimacy and sexuality, prepare for intense desires to rear their head now until April 2025. On one hand, you could use this firepower to revamp your sex life and experiment with new ways of bringing your body, spirit, and mind closer together. However, if you've been mixed up in a separation, the battle could become quite intense as your ex faces you down like an enemy. Is there something from your past that you need to rectify? You might be hit with nostalgia when Mercury in Pisces trines Mars retrograde in Cancer. Memories of old jobs, work situations, and co-workers will flood you. You may feel sentimental as you consider everything you have done to get to where you are now. At first, you might be emotional if you think you have made the wrong move. Luckily, your courage and enthusiasm to continue on your current path will return, because Mars will station direct in Cancer shortly after. The balancing acts our bodies perform daily takes place in the kidneys, where the blood is cleansed of impurities. To give your kidneys a hand, include borage, cleanses, gravel root, clears urinary stones, and buchu, kidney stimulant, in your diet. To learn about these and other nutritious substances, begin to frequent the more conscious produce markets in your area. Growers often sell direct to these markets, which speaks of a relatively balanced economic and environmental structure that you may want to support. Making some plans to get together with friends or family can make this day go much smoother. The essence of this day strives to bring balance to your life, by adding a touch of light-hearted fun to the day. Focusing on work can be tough when this is happening, but plans can be a light at the end of the tunnel. If you know you're going to have some fun later, and you keep as busy as possible, the time is sure to go faster. It is just as the asteroid Juno, the queen of commitment, is settling into her first weekend in Sagittarius in 4 years that the moon wraps up its monthly visit. This is going to leave you emotionally and intuitively engaged and aware as you settle into a journey that over the next few months will bring a chance to rewrite your resolutions. When the moon leaves, it will not only return for its first visit to your income sector since Mercury left at the end of last month, ending years of near continuous planetary activity, but over the coming days across the income, work, and career fronts, this will be a valuable chance to check in and regroup. Less than 3 weeks after returning to your romantic sector, Venus, the planet of love, has the brakes on as she moves into her final 7 days in direct motion. It is Venus retrograde turn next weekend that will not only keep her here instead of leaving but will open the doors to the past and second chances. As the asteroid Juno, the queen of commitment, settles into her first weekend in Sagittarius, she is set to become Venus and the spirit of romance's strongest advocate. Our eyes in the sky. After what may have felt like an endless struggle, a time filled with hesitation, emotional exhaustion, and a sense of being stuck in a loop, Mars stations direct in Cancer today, marking the end of its retrograde journey. This shift is like the first rays of sunlight breaking through after a long, stormy night. If you've been feeling drained, uncertain, or caught in cycles of doubt and second-guessing, you might now begin to sense a shift in your energy, a return to a state of clarity and determination. It's as if the fog has lifted, and the path ahead, though still requiring effort, now feels more attainable and less overwhelming. Have you ever woken up one day and suddenly felt a renewed sense of control over your life, as if something just clicked into place? That's the kind of energy today brings: a fresh start, a new rhythm, and a realization that progress is not only possible but already beginning to take shape. It's the moment where you stop looking backward and instead focus on what's next with a sense of purpose. Tasks that once felt tedious or insurmountable may now seem manageable, and your ability to set boundaries and express your needs could feel more natural. If you've been holding back emotions, particularly frustration or unresolved tension, Mars direct encourages you to acknowledge and release them in a healthy, constructive way. It's not about acting impulsively but about giving yourself permission to process these feelings and move forward without carrying unnecessary weight. Have you ever been surprised by how much lighter you feel after simply expressing what's been on your mind? Today offers that kind of relief. It's also important to take a moment to reflect on what you've learned during the retrograde period. Instead of rushing ahead, ask yourself, what patterns have emerged in your relationships, career, or personal growth? What lessons have you encountered that you may not have fully processed yet? Sometimes, our greatest insights come not in the midst of struggle but in the moments just after, when we finally have the perspective to see how far we've come. Now is the time to integrate those lessons and let them shape your next steps. With Mars gaining momentum, you might start viewing the world through a clearer lens. The things that once felt confusing or out of reach could suddenly begin to make sense, and decision-making becomes more intuitive. If you've experienced moments of doubt recently, trust that the clarity you've been seeking is now within reach. Have you ever had a moment where everything seemed to align, and you just knew what you needed to do? That kind of realization is more likely to happen now, especially if you remain open to new insights. This is also a time to share what you've learned with those around you, whether through meaningful conversations, creative expression, or simply being more open about your experiences. The things you've gone through, your challenges, your growth, your discoveries could be exactly what someone else needs to hear right now. Have you ever noticed how sharing your story can inspire or bring clarity to someone else? Your words and experiences hold power, and today is a great day to use them for connection and understanding. As your energy starts to increase, remember that balance is key. When Mars shifts, it can feel like an internal fire reigniting, but that doesn't mean you have to sprint forward without rest. Take care of yourself. Pay attention to your physical and mental well-being. Are there any habits that no longer serve you? This is an ideal moment to make small but impactful changes, adjusting your daily routine, being mindful of your nutrition, or carving out time for self-care. Even simple acts like spending time in nature, moving your body, or drinking more water can significantly improve your overall well-being. Communication also takes on a more powerful role today. You may find it easier to express your thoughts with confidence, and others are more receptive to your ideas. If you've been avoiding a difficult conversation, now is a good time to address it with honesty and clarity. Have you ever had someone unexpectedly seek your advice, and in the process of helping them, you realized just how much you've grown yourself? Today presents opportunities for those kinds of exchanges, where supporting others can also reinforce your own understanding of your journey. Intellectually, you might feel sharper and more engaged, making it a great time for problem-solving, learning, or diving into discussions that challenge and expand your thinking. You may feel a renewed curiosity, a desire to explore new perspectives, or even take the lead in conversations. If you've been contemplating a new project or considering an opportunity, trust that you have the insight and determination to see it through. Leadership, however, isn't just about pushing forward, it's also about listening. Have you ever been in a conversation where a simple shift in perspective changed everything? That kind of breakthrough energy is present today, so be open to collaboration and new ideas.